And we are back here on Cable 10 Live. Thank you very much for joining us. I'm your host, Nab Nanwell. Last week, the Bank of Canada cut its overnight lending rate to 0.75%. And just to kind of explain what the impact of this fall in the rate is going to have on us as, people in the region of Peel or just in general as citizens of Canada, I have joined me to talk about this in further detail Mark Landers, who's a managing partner for Northridge Financial Group, as well as Ahmed Jadallah, who's a financial advisor. And again, this is a very interactive show, so if you want to join on the conversations, get more information regarding this fall in the Bank of Canada rate, give us a call. The number is 905-848-5483, or connect with us on social media at Cable10Live. Use the hashtag Cable10Live. Gentlemen, I need to ask you both. It seems like, should we be panicking right now regarding this rate decrease? Like I'm reading different articles, I'm getting different perspectives, from my colleagues, from my friends. What is the impact of this overnight rate? But in general, what is the overnight lending rate?
Sure.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, the overnight lending rate is the rate where the banks are borrowing from the central bank or the Bank of Canada, and it's a very important rate to be considered. They call it the prime rate because it's causing the cost of borrowing for the banks to go either up or down, and based on that, the banks are really specifying their lending rates to the public. So it's very important to consider it when we are talking about mortgages, when we are talking about line of credits and other retail and consumer loans. So what has happened is the government has taken the decision to lower it for a certain portion, which I believe is healthy for the economy in the meantime in Canada. And probably the question is it good or bad? No, it's absolutely good because it's going to boost the economy. It's going to encourage more people to invest in the Canadian stock market, and that's going to create probably a healthy economic situation. However, is it a painkiller or is it a genuine kind of medication to the Canadian economy? I would believe it's more of a painkiller rather than a genuine solutions. So, but there's no doubt that it's going to attract international investments, and I believe on the other hand, as always economists will say, on the other hand, it's going to increase the real estate bubble, which we feel it.
Oh, for sure. I mean, that's one of the things that's been hinted on as well. Mark, share your thoughts.
Yeah, no, I think it's a real. I think it's a real opportunity. I mean, the great thing that we're experiencing is when there is a rate cut, obviously consumers are going to have a little bit of extra money in their pocket. When you combine that with a little bit lower prices at the pumps from the gas tank perspective, it's going to be a real opportunity for consumers out there to hopefully make some good choices with their money with what's happening. A lot of people are maybe inclined just to if they have an adjustable rate mortgage, to perhaps just accept the lower monthly payment that will transpire. What I would recommend to a lot of people, and what we recommend to a lot of our clients, is when this sort of opportunity comes up, there's a great chance for an adjustable rate mortgage to keep your payment at what you're paying before, and you'll put down a little bit of extra money towards interest and principal. So
yeah, no, and I think that's the one thing that kind of people were hinting about. But I'm wondering, going back to the fall in oil prices, could this have been kind of forecasted before? Like we're seeing, record lows that I haven't personally seen in probably about 10, 15 years, and I think ultimately, like, it's going to really show that, with gas affordability, I think everyone kind of had this notion, okay, this isn't really the best situation to be in. But could that fall in gas prices couldn't have been kind of forecasted beforehand, and could we have kind of seen this situation come about?
Yeah, I mean, it's always a great question. It's always very tricky to interpret what's going to happen in the future around things such as oil and other things that we're managing in the economy. But I think that in response to these reduced oil prices, which has had some challenges on the Western economy with their dependencies upon oil, I think from some information that I've read, I think for oil to be profitable in the oil sands because of the involved extraction process, the price of oil needs to be around $90 a barrel.
And we're seeing I think 60 right now, right?
Actually, it's close today at 49 and change. Okay. So obviously at that price point, if it stays at that level, it's going to be very challenging in the long term to be profitable in the oil sands and sort of extracting that oil in Western Canada, which ultimately is going to lead to some challenges there. So because of these foreseen challenges, the Bank of Canada reducing the lending rate as an effort to try and spark some spending and that sort of thing is probably a good sort of a good operation to sort of control what could be happening in the future.
Definitely. Ahmed, any thoughts?
Well, I would agree with Mark, but I would say that these kind of oil prices wouldn't have been expected before. I think it comes in line with international politic kind of probably campaign, if you can call it. For Canada, I would still say, as we are productive of oil, we would still need at least, as the government has budgeted, $60 per barrel in order to be on the right track.
Yeah.
So Canada's tax bill is a substantial element for the Canadian budget, and that's why when prices are going down on the oil level, so the income from the tax bill is going down as well, and that is impacting the government expenditure.
Yeah.
So I would say that the government is trying to avoid hookup on such issue, and they're trying to boost the economy through lowering the interest rate. Probably if the oil crisis is not present at this time, we wouldn't have seen the low interest rate in the meantime. I think. Yeah.
It seems a lot